Hello, hello. Today we are going to talk about what is actually behind the idea of food is food, that food isn't good or bad. And I know you've probably heard people say that, and you're like, that's not true. Chicken is better for you than a bag of salt and vinegar chips. And you are correct. It does have more nutrition. I am not doubting that at all. But the labels are part of what is preventing you from losing the weight that you want to. And if you can't let them go, then you're going to be dieting for the rest of your life. Let me explain why. So, wherever you are driving right now, because I know that the car is where we live these days, I want you to grab 5 big sips of that water bottle that you have now has just become part of your outfit. And let's do this. Okay, so like I was saying, food is just food. It's not good, it's not bad, and let me tell you why that is. And when you tell yourself a cookie is bad, you think, okay, it's bad, I shouldn't eat a cookie. Then you start avoiding eating a cookie until one day comes that you are so tired, or you waited too long to eat and you're starving, or you're super stressed, or just something where you are, life is lifing, like something is just off. And all of a sudden, there will be cookies sitting on the counter. Maybe your husband brought them home as a treat, or I don't know, your kid brought something home from school, right? But it is a cookie and it is sitting on the counter and it is calling your name. And when you give in and you eat the cookie, you don't just eat one cookie because now you are so invested in this cookie. You've been thinking about cookies because you've told yourself that they're bad and that you shouldn't have them. So every time you've seen a cookie and you've like resisted it, it's been in your head. And so now you are so invested in this cookie. And you also tell yourself that you cannot eat this cookie again because it is bad. So because of that, you end up eating not only one cookie, but you have 2 cookies, 3 cookies, 4 cookies. You end up eating all the cookies. Then, because you ate the whole cookie, you now are thinking that you are bad because you couldn't control yourself around that cookie. And now that you have eaten all the cookies, you have failed. Might as well just eat whatever you want and start over again on Monday. And then you go back to telling yourself the cookies are bad because they are, right? They're bad and you can't eat them. And this is why those labels hurt us, because it is just a cycle that goes over and over and over again. And, this could be something that happens maybe once a month, but it could be something that happens every week. Every week you could like be so good all week long. And then at the end of the week, like you're tired or something happens and you give into the cookie. And it's just this cycle that never seems to end. And the thing is, right, we know that certain foods are better, have more nutrition than others do, right? So we've been taught, like if you think like chicken, salads, maybe brown rice, these are good foods, right? That's what we've been taught. And that cookies, breads, sweets, those are bad and that we shouldn't eat them. But again, food is just food. It doesn't matter if the food is good or bad. Too much of either the good stuff or the bad stuff will make you gain weight. And that is what we're here, right? Is to lose the weight. So we have to figure out, okay, then where is that balance with them? And like I said, some foods do have more nutrition, right? I'm not going to say that a cookie is better than a banana because it might taste more delicious than a banana, so it is better in that way. But it's not going to give me as much nutrition, and I'm going to start to feel tired, and it's going to come back and bite me in the butt if I have too many of them. But it's not about the food itself, right? It's the thoughts about food being good or bad that is actually getting in our way. And if you even think about it on the other side, right? How many times have you thought, like, this is a good food? This salad is good for me, so I can really eat as much of it as I want. Now, a salad, yeah, you could eat a lot of it. But what are you putting on the salad, right? Are you putting a lot on the salad and then it gives you a lot of calories, and then you're eating a lot of it because you know it's a good food, but now you're overeating in that too, right? That is the battle. Like when we label these as good or bad, it makes our brain think about them in different ways. So when we finally stop labeling the food and we just think of food as food and we stop restricting or going all in, then we can find a place where we can eat a cookie because we want one and move on. And guess what? We're not bad. You're not bad. You did not steal the cookie. You didn't do anything bad. You ate a cookie. Okay, so now that you understand like why that thought impacts us so much, I'm going to give you two things to do to break this thought, right? So the first one, really simple. I want you to like write this down somewhere. Put it somewhere where you're going to see it, whether that's on the kitchen counter or on the refrigerator or somewhere that you're looking often. That food is food, right? Just really simple, because the thing is, we've been programmed that food is good or bad for so long that it is going to take time for you to change that thought. And even now, I've been working on this thought for over 2 years, and still I find myself sometimes saying something like, oh, that's good, or oh, that's bad. And as soon as I say it, I just like stop myself and correct it. But it's something that we've said for a really long time, and we've thought for since we were a little kid. I mean, they teach us stuff in elementary school. So it is something that is going to take time to break. So I want you to put it in your face, and I want you to just keep reminding yourself that food is food. When you're eating, whatever you're eating, remember, food is food, not good or bad, just food. All right. And the second thing that I want you to do is, because there is going to be a time where you are going to grab something and you're going to think, ooh, this is a bad food. And first, you're going to change that thought, right? Food is just food. And then second, I want you to ask yourself why you want the food, right? Because the goal here is weight loss. And so we have to find a balance of how do we eat these foods. Like if food is just food, then how do we eat this without it getting in the way of our weight loss? And so for that, I want you to ask yourself, why do you want it? Are you super hungry? Did you come in like you missed lunch and now you're just like starving, trying to eat all the foods? Are you emotionally eating it? Are you super stressed right now? Has it been a sad day? Has something come up for you that's brought up a lot of emotions and you feel like you want to eat just to like help those emotions feel better? Or do you just want the cookie? Like sometimes we just want the cookie. And then decide, is it right for you right now or not? And the way you figure that out is by, if it is just that you want a cookie, then eat the cookie, and because then you can move on. But if it's those other things, then is it really going to hit that spot? Probably not. A cookie is probably not going to help you be full if you came into it super hungry or if you are feeling a lot of emotions. But I also want you to recognize that when you do this for the first time and you do decide, okay, I want to eat a cookie, there is a chance that you're going to eat more than just one cookie. And the reason is because you have been restricting up until now, because you've been telling yourself it's been bad all this time. So it is going to take some practice, and it's going to take eating the cookie, recognizing that it's just food, and really thinking about why you were eating the cookie. But it does take practice. I mean, that's how it is with anything. We've been doing this for 40 something years or 35 or however many years you've been doing this. So it's been a long time that you've been telling yourself that cookies are bad. You will probably not get it right, and that is okay. But you need to give yourself grace so that you can eventually get to this place where the cookie is just a cookie, and you eat one cookie and you move on. All right. So that is what I want you to work on, those two things. So, one, just reminding yourself over and over again the food is food. And two, asking yourself, like, why do you actually want to eat this food? And I also think of it like sometimes when you go to a restaurant, right? And you're like getting fast food. And for me, we go to Chick-fil-A, and I love their chicken sandwich, the number one. So delicious. Fries, ranch dressing. So good. But I was at a place for a long time that like I refused to order anything else because I knew like the grilled stuff would be good, but it didn't taste as good. I had just had all these thoughts about it, but I also felt guilty when I would eat it. So now when I go to Chick-fil-A, I ask myself, like, what is my goal with this right now, right? Like, am I trying to lose weight? Am I trying to be thoughtful about getting enough protein in? What is my goal with coming to Chick-fil-A? And if I'm just going because like my kids wanted to go, then I'm going to eat some grilled chicken, and I'm going to choose the things that are going to be healthier for me, because it wasn't like I just really wanted their number one chicken, their fried chicken. So but if I go one day and I really want the number one, then I'm going to get the number one, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, because it's not something that I'm doing all the time. And I don't feel like I have to. I'm making that choice because it's something that I want. But stopping and looking at like, why are you choosing this thing, actually is really helpful when it comes to losing weight. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to get it right all the time. I don't get it right all the time. Sometimes I order a number one just because. And that is okay too. But when your goal is weight loss, you do have to be more thoughtful in why you're making these choices. All right, so back to food is food. Work on those two things. Try them out, and you can always write me on Instagram at Michelle_transformed. Let me know, like, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the food is food idea? You can also go to my website, transformedhealthcoaching.com. And if you're interested in a plan, a program, I have a 16-week program called Grace Over Guilt, where we work on getting you the weight loss that you are looking for in a way that works for life, that works for your life, not anybody else's life, that works specifically for yours, because life is crazy and we need tools and systems to help us reach our goals that fit what we're doing right now in life. And life is crazy. So if that is something that you're interested in, you can go to my website, fill out the application, and I will connect with you and give you more information. I have really enjoyed this. I hope that you have too. I will talk to you soon.